hold down a position which falls now on the east side of the circle. A pretty definitive zone shift towards that southwest island. So a lot of teams going to be looking to move through there, but at the moment, Morph trying to hold off against NSR.
Yeah. Morph and NSR deadlocked right here. It's a full-out 4v4. I think I see all the players involved in on that mini-map on the top right. Morph does have a player on the off angle. It is spotted out. A headshot with the Uzi does a little bit of damage, just enough to deter him from doing a flanking off angle on the backside. Does almost get knocked, and I think he did get knocked. Star will get the first knock as other Morph members come in. A quick trade, a 1-for-1 right now.
Morph trying to hold it down. Boboho a little bit isolated, but as you say, there is a trade coming through there. This slows the fight down. This puts a little bit of a stopper on things, and Spec doesn't try and cut the cross, so allows the team to move across this road, allows them to get closer here, but Star has moved up, and they still haven't got control of this res. Now Rocky pushing in, has got backup as well. Morph still trying to hold down this wall line, allow themselves to strafe through it, but in hops Star. He's looking for this flush, he's looking to control. That's the cross control that they were looking for from Spec. He finds Cleon, and now NSR down to 2. The flushes have come in, and it looks like Morph are really starting to flag, but NSR have eaten a bullet or two in their time in this fight as well. It's not looking good for either of these two rosters.
Oh man, it's definitely looking better for NSR though, as they brought it back. It was a 2v3 with a 4th potential revive, but Morph just dropped the ball completely, all down to Rocky, and he's only got that shotgun. He ran out of ammo and his other weapon, and Rocky goes down. That's a win for NSR, but losing 2 immediately off the bat may not be the best feeling.
7th Element did in fact drop on that northwestern island on the mountaintop near Camp Alpha. And they have moved down to provide that crunch. In the meantime, looks like we got a little bit of a holdout on Hale, who have been suffering. They tried to move back down south after they were pushed away by 7th Element with that knock, with that flush. And Hale fleeing for their lives, and a lovely nade comes through from QX to find a knock, and almost the second as well. Tiger cowering behind the rock now as Junie with the oversight coming through. But not able to find a Tiger. Makes the break and gets across to cover.
Lines from not just 628, but other teams potentially looking their way now.
This is the congestion I was talking about around this ruins area on the northwestern island. These crosses are now mandated. You have to get across this river at this point. You have to figure out your path. Looks like Intense Game going to roll straight on up into the Lion's Den here, but maybe they've bitten off a little bit more than they could chew. Diego tried to send out wide, but the DPS is just not connecting here. Not for Intense either way, because Sunan is able to swivel on the spot and fool them in the face there. That is unideal, and Intense Game will be the casualty on that northwestern shore. But can 628 make this crossing? Wolf to hold on this east side as Becca falls now. Palucci looking to hold the fort, but with players and one of them on the knee, it's going to be real tough going. Unfortunately, you two Alliance, though, they've lost a player. And who's this? They're rocking up into the fight.
Ooh, NB Esports with a great third-party timing. They hear all the commotion. They know they're not in the zone, and they do drive right up. Tiger, last player up for Hale. He's been in the shed for quite a while, and he's going to get taken down by Inko. Surely 1v4. He gets a knock, but that's about it. Inko slowly working their way in, keeping 4 up. They're going to have to drive straight in as that blue zone is right on top of them. And here's that early on. We saw it through the Americas and the league stage, but hopefully they'll turn things around. They have 4 up, which is good for them. Nanabete snaking up. Oh, wait, that was the last player from Inko?
Yeah.
Wow, we saw them as 4 just seconds ago, but this is SANHOK after all. Taken down to just 1, and they're out.
Brazil where, man? What's going on? Both of our Brazilian teams getting taken out early with very little points gained. Inko 2 points. Intense Game 0. They went down pretty early on as well. I liked their rotation from that northwest island, playing up to that trifecta compound, but here it looks like they might really start to struggle. FaZe have got ahead of them, and getting around this headland is very, very tricky.
Yeah. I'm thinking 628, it looks like they're going to try and just not engage that fight. It doesn't give them much cover, you know, playing down at those rocks. There are sightlines that will spot them out. They have 4 up. I'm surprised they're giving up that fight. It is a difficult fight, though. Instead, they're going to try and sneak into Painon. And we have Nexuria right here. It is spotted. Nade in hand. That's going to be deadly if he could connect. He will back up for now. Maybe bait out some util from the side of STE before he returns.
Dokuma backing off the door frame. Looks like they feared the ordnance, but you've got that crossfire from Zeb Wolf. You've got Seventh Element as well across the way. This is exactly what you were talking about, right, ZJ?
Yeah.
You push
Yeah,
up, you just don't have cover.
Yeah, I'm surprised they didn't try and engage a 4v4 against FaZe. FaZe is in a great spot, or not great spot on top of that hill, but a better spot than staying down on the riverside. And NB Esports playing this so well, starting from the hill, third party, and now sweeping down, catching the side of FaZe. Ben Torres, last one up, trying to get at least 1 point for the team. The DB can fourth. He does find a knock, and he gets the confirmation too. But I think, yep, that's as far as he will go. NB Esports will lose one player. Very unfortunate for them. Next, right in front of you, and that tree does cost them very dearly. Last player up, NB Esports. Can he snake it out? Maybe get some placement points. Top 8 is not much placement points whatsoever. As next Ruya now firing shots. Nades come in. NB Esports taken out.
It is so tough to approach Painan at this point. 3 teams have been locking it down for ages. Next Ruya on that northwest point, looking to try and hold out 6-8. SANHOK is still going for 6-8, despite their open ground push that got them torn to pieces there. NI, but going down with no eliminations as well. And a lot of teams trying to make that push. Here comes Nigma Galaxy, and they have actually found a way into Painan on the south
of Nigma Galaxy off just that knock alone. So even though no confirmation, that knock was huge. It might have given them positional power to win this match if they can make it across the spray of next Ruya. One of their players will go down.
That's what I was talking about, those crossfires through the streets. It's so hard to move south, and now we have no teams with all 4 players alive, except for Nigma Galaxy, who have been just slowly marching forwards. This is great stuff from this roster, from this team. Starting out well. Dimkan with the angle down the alleyway, but he's got a wall right next to him. Can't really do much than just try and fade away from this one as they try and cross the river. They need to get across, but the time is running out. Next Ruya still on this crossfire as they continue their pressure from that north side as Dagsan clash in the streets of Painan, and nobody is looking good. Nobody's looking hot for it. The nades pour through, so many knocks on this southwest side, and it is curtains for Dagsan, who have held out so long, and Ralph not long for it either.
Yeah, Nigma Galaxy does manage that 3rd place position though, so that was good for them. That's the best they could hope for, because neither of those teams are making it across this river, not with Nongshim and next Ruya looking dead at them. Now it's down to the final 2 teams. A 3v4 scenario. Nongshim with the man advantage. Center zone does fall in favor of Nongshim as well, because there is no more circles here, but they have clear visions right down the middle. Next Ruya definitely with their backs up against the wall.
The circle finishes inside of that warehouse, out to the east, out to the right-hand side of Tizzy as you look at it. So it's a lot of open ground here. That wall might come into play quite importantly. How many nades do they have left? That Molotov from Tizzy could be pivotal. If he launches it through now, may be able to use it a little bit later to control more space, but might not have that opportunity. Might be taken away from him next Ruya.
Oh,
powerful, but in goes the Molotov. That is brilliant to find the burn onto Dokuma. Gonna fall to it, so another man up in the advantage now for Nongshim Red Force as Tizzy holds the wall. Playing back and forth. Can they step out? Can next Ruya pull it back together? They got 4 players to handle. Tizzy doesn't manage to land the first shot. Blazo will find that first flush, but Frozen is there. They cut them down. It is Nongshim to be able to take home this first chicken dinner. It was the burnout, the bleed out for next Ruya. And what a way to kick things off here for Group Red. The Painan finish over on that north side.